It is 2025. It's a new year, and I know you have dreams and you have goals. And if you don't, what are you doing? But I know you have something in your heart that you want to achieve this year. And I'm going to show you how to set these goals as a Christian man. We're going to become a man of God, and we're going to set goals like we are a man of God. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Camden, and we're going to go on a journey of becoming men of God together. Today, we're going to focus on those goals. I have my own goals right here, and I'm going to show you guys how I set them and how you should set them as a Christian man of God. All right, let's do this. And you know that a lot of people, you hear in January that people are like, new year, new me. Like, we're going all in. It's all about me. But guys, when we set goals, we need to have God in mind. And that doesn't mean that we can't have our own goals, right? We all have goals. And God definitely gives us visions and dreams for a reason. But the way we set them needs to be different than the world because we are set apart, right? As Christians. So it's just as important when we're setting goals. And especially in your spiritual life, you need to have goals, in my opinion, in three different aspects. I'll just tell you what I did. So with my goals for 2025, I separated them into three different categories. I have personal, spiritual, and business. So personal is everything like my physical fitness, hobbies and things I want to do, and even something like self-improvement that I want to improve on myself on. And then spiritual is things that are going to get me closer in my faith and help me to, be grateful more often or whatever, things like that, right? It could be something about the Bible too, but I will let you guys know in a second what mine are. And then the last category is business, which is we're men of God. We're here to provide for people, right? You want to be a provider, so you need to have a strategic plan for how you're going to do that for your family and through God, the will of God. And you want to be what God made you to be as a man, a provider and a protector. So we got to have some goals for business too. So those are the three categories that I like to do. And, you can add different categories as well if you have different aspects of your life, but I like to just do three simple, keep it simple, because if you overcomplicate things, you're not going to get anything done. Complexity, is that the word? Definitely takes away from achieving goals. If you do too much, it's too complicated, you're going to be like burnt out and not knowing what you're doing. But if you're simple and you're sharp and you know what you want, you can get whatever you want because God gives you these dreams and visions for a reason. There's no limit. He created us to create. He is a creator, and we're made in the image of God, so we can create as well. So let's just go category by category, and I'm going to share my goals with you and how you should set your own. I love motivational quotes, and I want to start with something that will keep you in the right vision. So it says, wherever you look is where you'll go, and what you write is what you invite. Did you know that you're 40% more likely to achieve your goals if you write them down? There was a whole study on this, I think it was at Harvard or something, that literally showed that the people that wrote down their goals achieved them 40% more than the people who didn't write them down. So the first step, write your goals down. Don't just leave it up to your motivation to get these goals done, because we already talked about it a few videos ago that when you're motivated, of course you're going to do great things, but when you're not, that's when things really matter, when you're either going to be disciplined and you're going to practice discipline, or you're going to, slack off and you're going to just go on with your day and never get your goals, right? And God doesn't want that for us. He wants us to be the best we can possibly be. He made us for a reason. He wants us to be that good. He wants us to achieve these things because all things work together for the good of those who love him. That's in Romans. And so when we think about our entire lives, everything we do as a Christian, and not even just as a Christian, but as human beings, is for a reason. We have a purpose, and we have things we want to do because there's a higher purpose. So whatever you do, just make sure you glorify God while you're doing it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a pastor to glorify God. You can go and start a business, and if that's your goal, just glorify God while you're doing it. Give him the glory, and make sure you're not relying on your own strength to get it done, because it will fail. It eventually will fail and fall. But if you rely on God, someone who never moves, unwavering, who is always there, and it's like the strongest foundation we could possibly have. If you rely on him in the times that you're not making any money, when you're lost in your life, when you don't know who you are, if you rely on him, you'll get back. And you'll I like this quote that I think it was Derrick Rose or something, that every minor setback leads to a major comeback. I used that when I got hurt in a basketball game once. And it stuck with me because even when in those times that you feel like you're not doing anything and you're so behind, these setbacks lead to the biggest jumps of improvement. And especially when you have a faith, God can do abundantly more than we can imagine. And so if we have him on our side, who can be against us? If God is for us, who can be against us? That's all you need to know. You don't need the opinion of the world to be with you to get these things done. If you have God, nothing can defeat you. He's the most powerful. He created us, and he wants you to achieve these goals. So let's go personal first. My first personal goal of 2025 is to travel to 3 new places. I started off my goals with one that was a little more fun because we want to achieve these, right? We don't want to just write them down to you do nothing with them, right? We want to actually make these happen. And so personal for me, I haven't traveled a lot in my life. I want to go see at least 3 new places this year. It doesn't have to be another country. It doesn't have to be a huge difference. I just want to go and see 3 new places. Let's just start with something just a little simpler. So for your goals, if you have some personal goals, start with one that is kind of fun and not too complicated. Just one fun thing like traveling or anything really, just something in your personal life that you want to do this year, okay? And then my second one is read 12 books or a book a month. So this one is really for self-improvement. And I don't like to say that self-improvement is bad because some Christians are like, oh, if it's about you, then it's not going to be good. Like, no, God wants us to improve. We just have to include him in it. So that goal, I want to read 12 books for the year, 1 a month, that will, contribute to my personal life, something that will make me better. And so it could be a faith book. I'm not talking about the Bible, though. That's completely different. I'm going to be reading the Bible daily. But this is just each month I want to read something that's either going to motivate me or teach me something like that can help me improve myself. And so I don't know if you guys read or not, and the podcasts are good too, but like audiobooks or real books, if you consume something that will make you better every day, even if it's just 30 minutes a day, and of course the Bible is the best way to go, but there's other books that are great too. I wrote one. It's called Fearless Masculinity, and it's about embracing the man that God created you to be. I'll link it in the description, but it was inspired by God. So not all books are bad just because they're not the Bible. That's my goal. If you read or not, do something, have some kind of goal that will actually contribute to your self-growth, self-improvement, to get you to a better place mentally and emotionally. And it could be it's inspired by God. It could be a faith-based book, or it could be something about business or money, There's all these categories in our life that we want to improve, and there's nothing wrong with that. And as long as we think about God and we think about our faith, you ever hear the verse that says you can't serve 2 masters? You can't serve both God and money? It doesn't mean that money is bad. It means that we can't we can't make it an idol. We can't worship money. So it's not bad to do these business things. It's not bad to improve your finances. You just have to be fruitful with it and use it for good. Use it as a resource like we talked about before. And God will bless it. Make sure you include God in the journey, and you can do anything you want. It doesn't matter if it's about money or whatever. It's all good as long as you have the right ambitions, the right things you want to do with it, right? You could use money for horrible things, but you could also use, videos for horrible things. So as long as you have that, anchor in Christ, then all these things will go to the bigger purpose. All right. So that's my second goal. And so far we have one fun one self-improvement one, and this last one for my personal category. I have 3 for each category. The last one for my personal category is get to 145 pounds. So this is a fitness goal. I'm about like 136, 137 right now, and I want to get to 145 in muscle, right? So I'm going to be in the gym a lot and eating a lot better and eating more. It's all about tracking things on a daily basis, because if you just say, if it's the other way around, if you want to lose weight, if you just say that you want to lose 20 pounds in 2025 and then you go and only weigh yourself once, you're going to be fat at the end of the year, okay? And remember that our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, so we want to glorify God with our bodies too. And that's why I included a fitness goal in my personal, because it is, just because it's not a spiritual goal doesn't mean it's not good for your spiritual life. Because honoring God with your body means eating the right things. And of course, we all eat bad sometimes, but I mean keeping yourself healthy. And don't just be a bum that never goes to the gym and never works out, because what kind of man are you going to be if you don't have any strength, any muscle? We're here to protect our families and women and children. How are you going to protect people if you have no muscle? All right? So I think that's a great goal to have, something in your fitness life that's going to motivate you to go to the gym more. It's going to motivate you to stay disciplined in the gym. Because like I said, right now I'm super motivated because it's January. We're all very motivated going to this new year. But in a few weeks, when you're not so motivated, what are you going to do? How are you going to turn out? Well, I'll tell you right now, if you don't have any kind of discipline, you're not going to keep going. If you don't have a goal that's motivating you itself, not your own motivation, but the goal. Because these goals are here for a reason. You have to know the why behind them. You have to have a why. Before you know the what, you should find the why behind it. So why do I want to get to 145 pounds? Because I want to be stronger, and I want to, this is not a bad thing. I want to look better. I want to be more muscular. Because listen to this quote: if you look good, you feel good. If you feel good, you play good in life, right? So I want to look good, so I feel good, so I play good, so I do good in my life. If it's the other way around, if you have too much weight, it's the same thing. Why do you want to lose it? Think about that. Ask yourself. I'm not going to answer it for you, but that is my last personal goal. Those are the 3 personal ones. And we're going to move on to the second category, which is spiritual goals. And look, these personal goals are great to have. Everyone needs to have personal goals, but I think you should also include a section dedicated to your faith, spiritual goals. So let's get into it. My first spiritual goal is journal my prayers and blessings once a week. I started last year doing this, but I didn't do it the whole year. And so I wanted to make it an actual goal of mine this year to journal once a week my prayers. And not even just me, but I want to be praying for the people I care about and asking them for if they need prayer about anything. And I want to journal these things every week. So that's what I'm going to do. That's one of the goals I have. And yours could be something just like journaling in general, maybe once a month, or praying in general. But I like to journal my prayers so that I can look back and look at the blessings and look at all the things that God answered that we just overlook in the daily life. So that's my first one. My second one is start every day in the Word. And this is going to be probably the hardest one, honestly. If I'm really being honest, starting every day in the Word, because sometimes I just don't feel like reading. I'm going to be honest. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not here to tell you what to do and tell you that I'm the perfect person. There's some days I don't want to read the Bible. That's my flesh. I know my spirit wants it. So I heard this cool thing to do that it's going to really help me with this one is I'm going to put my Bible on top of my phone when I go to sleep. So that when I wake up, and even if it's my alarm, when I wake up, I have to take my Bible off to get to my phone. So before I start scrolling on social media, I'm going to pick up the Bible, and even if it's just a chapter a day, a few verses a day, I'm going to read something to start my day. Because we hear a lot about the armor of God, don't we? The armor of God is something that helps us, keeps us protected when we go out into the world. And so I feel like reading the Bible is a part of the armor of God. It is. So if you start your day with God, you're protecting yourself. You're getting yourself ready to go out into the world. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start every day in the Word by putting my Bible on top of my phone. What a good idea. I think it was Bryce Crawford who said that in a podcast, and that's the best idea ever. I'm going to do it. Maybe you should try that too. And let me know in the comments if you have any goals in your spiritual life. Let me know what those are. And if you don't know what they are yet, it's okay, because this is the first week and first few weeks of the year. So we got a whole year to go. You got time. This month is good for getting clear about what you want. So use January to really get clear about your goals in life. And so starting every day in the Word is really important to me, and that's what I'm going to do. And then, like I said, 3 goals. Each category is the perfect amount to stay. If you have too many goals, you're really not going to focus in on them. And if you only have 1, that's fine. But I have 3 each. I think it's a good number. So number 3 in my spiritual life is tithing once a month. Sounds simple. Sounds like I should already be doing this, right? But, there are some times when I don't tithe. And I've had some struggles finding a church family lately. I've been going to different churches a lot, and so that definitely does contribute to this. But I think it makes sense no matter where I am to tithe because it's God's kingdom. And I think if I give him my first 10%, he will bless the rest. And I really want to do that this year. Every month, tithe once a month, my 10%, my first 10% of my money. And I'm in school, so I'm not working a ton. But the little that I am working, 10% still goes a long way when God uses it. And if you don't give when you have a little, you're not going to give when you have a lot. I don't care what you say. You need to give with what you have, because when you have a lot more, you're not going to want to give if you didn't start now. So start now giving. That's my third goal, tithe once a month. And look, you can definitely take my goals if you want to use some of these. I'm not saying these are only mine. Like, you can use whatever you want. But I encourage you to really just meditate with God on these goals that you want to set, because that's what I did this morning. I just put some prayer and meditation music on, and I just talked to God, and I was like, what goals should I set this year? And this is what I came up with. These are the 3 categories, and these are the goals I think that will really be good for this year. And so let's go into the last category, business. Now, business could mean a lot of things for you. And I'm not going to tell you specifically what to do, because business could be your finances. Business could be your job, your career, whatever you like to do for work, for money, okay? And so for business, and this, it's not a business right now, but it's a business goal, and I'll tell you why. My first one is upload 2 YouTube videos every week that you're watching right now. My goal is to make this a business. And not just a business, but I want to be able to do this full time. I want this to be everything I do. I love making videos, and I love talking to you guys, and I love to make ones to inspire other men to become men of God. And this is the channel that I came up with this year, and this is the first business goal that I have. And I think that if I just do 2 videos a week, every week, consistency is key. And Mr. Beast, a really popular YouTuber, you probably know who that is, said that if you just improve every time, just a little, improve something every time you upload, then by 100 videos, you'll have something. And that's what I'm going to do. So let me know if you guys want to see something specific, or you want me to talk about something specific, because I'm going to do these videos every single week. And don't worry, because I'm not going to miss one. I'm making this a goal. And then, of course, life happens and personal things happen, but I'm going to make it my priority to upload 2 videos every week. All right. So whatever you want to do in life, whatever your dream is, make sure you set some goals in the business category about your dream, okay? And so my second one is sell 100 copies of Fearless Masculinity. That's my book I talked about earlier. This book, I just want to talk about it for a second. You don't have to buy it, but if you want to, if you're interested, this is what I'll say about it. There's a lot of men who are lost in life right now. And that's kind of what this channel is also about. But there's a lot of men who don't know the direction they're going. They don't know who they are. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that. And I dive into these in my book about why are men so lost, and how can we get back to becoming the men God created us to be. And so that's what the book is about. And I was really passionate about this topic, and I just decided to write a whole book about it. I've never written a book. It's my first one. And there's a lot of stuff that God inspired me to talk about in this book. And there's a lot of scripture, and I go through this path, this roadmap to finding yourself with God through biblical principles to become a man of God. So that's what that is about, and I want to sell 100 copies this year of that book, okay? That's my second business goal. And it's kind of a personal goal, but it's also, a book. If I sell it, then it's business. It's money. So last one, get to 100,000 subscribers on this channel. I thought about this one for a long time, because I was like, is this too ambitious? Is this too big? And I was like, why would I not set an ambitious goal? Why would I not set a big goal? It's a part of life, is having dreams. That is a dream of mine. If I get 100,000 subscribers here, we have a whole community of men who want to become men of God, and we can inspire each other. We can, iron sharpens iron, like I always say. We can inspire each other to continue on the journey with God. I also get a YouTube play button if I get 100,000. but honestly, just building that whole community would be such a cool thing in my life. And I think that that's something God has given me the vision to do. I've always had these goals and dreams of doing something with YouTube. And I really feel like this idea, this channel could inspire a lot of people like you that might feel a little bit lost right now, maybe in your faith or your life, because God is the center of everything. And if we don't have him in it, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to navigate life without God, without the creator of it. And so that was my last business goal, is really to grow this channel. And what I'll say for you about your business goals is don't worry about them being too big. Like, yeah, if you say you want to be a millionaire and drive a Ferrari or whatever, then okay, how are you going to get there, first of all? You got to have a plan. But these bigger goals will motivate you even more to do these things. And day in and day out, you need a big goal so every day you have a reason to work on it. And so those are my 9 goals for the year in 3 different categories. And I want to encourage you guys, if you've ever felt like you can't do something, if you ever had doubt in yourself, make this the year that you leave that in 2024. Leave that in the past and stop doubting yourself. You can do anything, especially with God on your side. And these goals, God, of course, pray about it a lot, but God wants us to achieve these goals. He wants us to be happy. He wants us to have a fulfilling life, and especially we know that nothing can fill that God-sized hole in our heart. But I have that. I have God in me. And so now I'm working on myself to become the best man of God I can be. And I want you to do the same thing. And maybe that means subscribing to the channel, because I will be here every week to inspire you to keep going. And I talked about this motivation thing where one day you might feel like you're not motivated at all and you'll slack off. But if you subscribe, I will be here to motivate you every week. 2 videos a week where I'll be here saying something to encourage you to keep going even when you don't feel like it. Okay? I'm not saying subscribe for me. I'm saying subscribe for you, because I will make it a priority to build this community so that we have each other to motivate each other, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. And so let me show you guys the book I wrote. So here's all the goals. Cool thing about it, though, is I put a deadline at the bottom. I put deadline December 31st, 2025, because we need deadlines to make goals happen. And so January 1st to December 31st, we have the whole year to make these goals happen. I don't know about you, but I really am going to try my dang best to get these done. Some seem big and some seem out of reach, but that's exactly what we need to be inspired to keep going. And so make your goals. Make your goals for 2025, and I want you to write them down. And I want you to comment one of them below. Comment one of your goals, and let's see each other's goals for the year and what we want to do to become men of God in your business life, in your spiritual life, and in your personal life. Thank you for coming. Hopefully this helped. Click that subscribe button, comment your goals, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.